Hi and welcome to another video. This video is super special and actually wasn't going to become a video at all. Main reason it has turned into a video is that once we'd booked this holiday, we couldn't really find any review or videos about this hotel that we were visiting. And so as I was creating our own memories, I thought actually, if this could be worthwhile to somebody who is interested in visiting an IKOS hotel, and particularly this one that we visited in IKOS, then I'm just going to pop it out there. So if you are interested in the questions and answers and get into the nitty-gritty about this hotel and this resort, then please fast forward about 40 minutes. In the interim, you're going to find photos of food and our outfits, and a room tour is in there as well, and a little bit about extra activities that we did. So if you're interested in that, please have a look through the video. But if you just want to scroll through the memories to the end and watch the question and answers that I'll provide at the end, then please do. About 41 minutes now.
So welcome back. This is our 20th wedding anniversary vlog. We are going on a trip that we have been looking forward to for so long. We booked this well over a year ago. We are going to IKOS or IKOS, we're not entirely sure how we pronounce it. We're going to the Aria one in IKOS, Greece. We are so excited. We booked this through TUI, like I say, about 13 months ago, and looked into it massively. We wanted something that was really luxury for our 20th anniversary. We are coming away just the two of us. We're doing 10 nights. So we are currently at Gatwick Airport. We are having a lovely breakfast. We stayed at the Premier Inn at Gatwick North Terminal last night because our flight is at 10:10 this morning, so we wanted to make sure that we were here nice and early. We also did fast track security, which was a game changer. So we ordered that online last night. It was £6 each, so that was well worth the money. So now we're enjoying breakfast. We're going to go and do some duty-free shopping and then enjoy a leisurely plane ride just as two adults, and then yeah, I'll take you along our journey. So we're in room 1240, which is a superior triple. So as you come straight in, we've got this large area here. So we've got a huge double bed. It's actually like two single beds pushed together, and I think mattress topper or something. Anyway, it's very comfortable. Massive pillows, really cozy. We've got bedside tables with charging and light switch facilities. And then we've got a little sofa here, which I think does pull out into a single bed because you can have 3 people in the room. Little table there, and then over on the other side, we've got a really nice vanity unit where I use like hairdryer and straighteners and bits and pieces. Coming out onto the balcony, so we have got a sea view room, and that is our view, which is stunning to see Castry Island there. We do get, this is the late afternoon now, so we do get the sun at the end of the day, which is quite nice, but we almost want to come up to the room and drink a bottle of rosé, but it's a bit too warm on the balcony, so we have to do that inside. On the balcony is really nice furniture, so we've got 3 chairs and a table there. It's a really spacious place to hang up items of clothing. And then as we go back through, we also have nice big TV, seat, sort of vanity area, place where we've put our cases, and then we've got our tea and coffee making facilities. So we've got an espresso coffee machine, kettle, they refill all of the water all the time, and they refill the coffee pods as well. And they've learnt that David really likes the purple ones, so they're giving us extra of those. Underneath there we have all of the bits and pieces that you need for your teas and coffees. So you've got your tea there as well. You can also order anything that you want or ask for extra of things. And then mini fridge, everything's included. So Cokes, Fanta, Sprite, beer, sparkling waters, tonic water, fruit juices. There's alcohols, and we've also got a bottle of rosé. But you can tell them what your favourite one is, and they will stock that up for you. You've then got plenty of storage space. So we have got a safe and lots of shelves and drawers in there. In this drawer is where you find all of your glasses, bottle openers, etc., which is great. That's just a drawer. And then you've got a really large wardrobe which lights up. Plenty of hangers supplied. And then a couple of big drawers at the bottom. There's also an iron and ironing board, which has been great. And then there's more cupboards to the side of that with shelves there, which is fab. Then coming off to the left of our front door, we have got our bathroom. So we've got a really spacious shower there, a couple of hooks, and then a raindrop shower and a handheld shower. We've got your shampoo, conditioner and your body wash as well. This is really nice. We've got 2 vanity sections, his and hers, and plenty of space to put products. There's also some fab drawers underneath here as well. You get slippers, and then on the back of the door, toilets there. You also get robes as well that you can use. Everything's replenished all the time. You get a body lotion, which is great. So everything's replenished all the time. And yeah, really comfortable. Air conditioning's good, hairdryer's good. And I think that is everything about the room. So we have been here officially 24 hours now, so I thought I would update you on what we've been doing. First of all, beautiful view from our room. As you'll see from the room tour, we booked a superior triple room, which has double bed and then like a sofa bed, which obviously we're just using as a sofa, and then balcony with some really comfy balcony furniture on. And then we panicked a little bit after some reviews that we'd seen about these rooms and that they were overlooking sort of like maintenance areas, and so decided to upgrade, and I think we paid extra £200 or £300 to get a sea view. And I'm really glad we did, because there's this Castry Island that you can see from the resort with a little church. You can just see it in the back there. It's really lovely to have that view, particularly first thing in the morning, but also in the evening it's all lit up. So for the extra money that we paid, I'm really glad that we did that. As I said before, we didn't opt for deluxe. When we looked into the deluxe option, it was quite a bit more money, and because we were travelling for the first time without children, we thought that what we got for deluxe wasn't actually worth it, considering we'd probably just want to be by the adult only pool, so the use of the deluxe pool, etc., wouldn't really suit us. So anyway, yesterday we arrived, and I think I mentioned that we used Z Tours, which were amazing. They were there waiting in the arrivals. He went and got a whole minibus just for the 2 of us, and it was not even a 10-minute journey
to the hotel. When you arrive at the hotel, the greeting is insane. So they all come quickly fetching your bags. There's somebody who then takes you through to reception. As you walk through to reception, everybody there like lines up to greet you. It was so lovely, everybody was just so friendly. You sit down, you get drinks brought over to you, and then you don't check in the normal way at all. You sit in a comfy setting with your drinks, and then you have your own person who checks you in, talks about everything that you need to know about. You then get signed into a WhatsApp group, so you're then part of this concierge WhatsApp group, and you can literally message them anything at any time. I think it's like 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. of anything that you want. So if you want to order some room service, or if you want to book onto Pilates, or if you want to change your restaurant booking, or if you want to book on the wine tasting, you just do everything through them. So that's a bit insane. And then we got taken to our room, which is great. We did have a tiny issue with the room in that they'd given us 2 twin beds and sort of pushed them together, and so we asked, is that like the usual, or could we have a double bed? And so they said that was fine, and they then changed that. So we went out and did a bit of exploring, and while we did that, they changed the bed, and the bed is now huge and absolutely perfect. So they followed through, and there was no qualm at all. He got on the phone, he was like, job is done, it'll get sorted. So then we went out and explored. I think I have heard that this is one of the largest of the IKOS resorts, and it is pretty spacious. So you've got your main building where like our hotel rooms are, and then what makes up a lot of the area is like the little building rooms. So I think there's bungalow rooms, and some that are deluxe, there are some that aren't the deluxe. There's 2-bedroom ones, there's one with private gardens, there's one with private pools. So that makes up a lot of the land, but it is super spacious, super green, really clean, lots of flowers and things growing. So it's a really pretty location, and actually we like that because we like to do lots of walking and exploring. You can get these little golf buggies, they're just down there. That will come and pick you up and take you. So if you have any mobility issues, because the restaurants are spread out, that's not an issue at all, because there's little buggies that will come and take you to wherever you need to go. But we are going to do all of it on foot. So we did a little bit of exploring, took a little bit of getting our bearings, and then we found ourselves in the Lagoon Bar, and we had a drink. Again, they hand you a menu, and then I wasn't really too sure. I wanted a glass of rosé, I wasn't really too sure, and so I just said I just wanted a super dry rosé, and he brought one out. It was absolutely delicious. And so then I asked him which one it was, and he's like, oh, it's not even one that's on the menu, it was the IKOS private cellar one. So I think you just say to them like what you fancy, and then they just bring it out. It doesn't really matter if it's on the menu or not, which is amazing. We came back to the room, we then had a chance to get showered and changed, and we decided that for our first night we wouldn't have a restaurant booking, that actually we didn't know what time we'd get here and what we'd feel like, so we thought that we would just go to the buffet, which is called Flavours. So we did that. It was really lovely. It seemed like it may have been a bit of an Italian themed evening, but I'm not entirely sure. But the food was really nice. The only thing I would say is it is not your traditional buffet where there are queues of people. There are just food coming out of every place possible. It is much more refined, but there's everything you could have wanted. So we had like salad and meat bits to start, we then had pasta, there was steak, that was really delicious, everything was perfect, and then we had desserts, they were gorgeous too. We had rosé wine with our dinner, and then after that we went back to the bar where there's like a little adult only area, and we sat out there overlooking that Castry Island, and we had some red wine, which again was lovely. We didn't even ask for one, we just said a full-bodied red, and the lady brought it out. It was delicious. We slept really well. And then this morning we got up, we were a little bit worried because like you get 24-hour room service, but you don't want to feel like you're being a bit of a diva. So, but we thought, well, no, that is part of it. So I plucked up the courage and I called for room service this morning and asked for 2 coffees, and they said, yeah, like no problem, like that's just what they do. So we sat on our balcony and we had our coffees, which was absolutely perfect. They arrived within like 3 minutes.
and then we went for a bit of a walk again just to suss out our surroundings. So we've now figured out that all the deluxe areas are much further over. They're near one of the restaurants called Uzo, which is well over the other side of the resort. So that is a pool that we can't use, a bar that we can't use if you're not deluxe, and there's also a restaurant called Seasons which we can't use for breakfast or lunch, but we can go to for dinner, which we have got booked in our stay here. And so actually that's quite nice, because it's not like there's a pool that you come to really easily and you think, oh god, am I allowed to be here or not? It's well over the side, so we would absolutely know that where we're not allowed to go. So we then went for breakfast, and again we decided to go for the buffet option. There are a la carte restaurants that you can go to for breakfast as well, but we chose to do the buffet, just again sussing everything out. Breakfast was fantastic. Okay, it just had everything you needed. So I had fruit and cheeses and meats, which I always is my go-to. David had a full English. We had granola bits, smoothies, like there's everything you could want. But again, it wasn't like a food feeding feast. It was just very civilized, I would say. We then decided that we'd have a bit of a pool day, and so we went to the beach pool, which was perfect. So we rocked down there like after 11 o'clock. There were loads of sun loungers free, so you don't have to worry about reserving a sun lounger. And all the pools that we saw, none of them had, they all had spaces for sun loungers. So really great service. Somebody just directs you to a sun loungers that you want, whether you want them in the shade or whether you want them in the sun, and then they come round to take your drinks orders. They also came round with little baskets of food, and so David had like a spinach and cheesy pasty thing just randomly, and then we also ordered lunch to our loungers as well. So I'm just going to turn into a Greek salad here. So I had Greek salad, which was delicious, and David had a burger and chips. You'll see a photo here, and that was just perfect. We then decided to have a little bit of a chill, and we had wine tasting booked for this afternoon. So I'd booked this in advance on one of the forums. They'd said to make sure you do that early on in your stay if you want to do it, because then you'd know some of the wines that you would like to have while you're on your stay. So we went into Provence, which is the French restaurant, and there was a group of about 10 of us who did wine tasting. It was really quirky. The guy who took the wine tasting spoke very quickly, and it was a little bit difficult to understand him, but we tried a white wine, a red wine and a dessert wine, and then they brought out some food so he could show us how food paired with each of the wines as well. So that was really interesting. It was just like a little activity, broke up the day, and we really enjoyed that. We came back to the room, obligatory nap, because it's like the first proper day, and we just drunk quite a lot of wine in the wine tasting, so I think we just needed a nap. We have now showered, and we are now ready. We have got dinner tonight at Uzo, which I am really excited about, because this place sits right on the beach. It's the furthest one away, so it's more over towards that deluxe area, so it's going to be really lovely to take a stroll over there and then have dinner there. So this is the traditional Greek restaurant, so I'm pretty sure there might be some ouzo probably served, but anyway, really looking forward to that. I'm hungry because all I've eaten is the Greek salad since my breakfast, and so I'm really looking forward to some ouzo. And then we will probably go back to the Lagoon Bar. There was some live music on last night, and there is again tonight, so we just quite like that chilled vibe. There is a nightclub, and I did hear some people on a table next to us at breakfast had gone to the nightclub last night. They looked a little bit worse for wear. I don't know if that'll be us, but we'll see. So far we're really enjoying it. Room, well, what is it with like foreign water and our hair just being like frizzy as anything? So just to let you know, the hairdryer in the room is okay. It's a Babyliss one. That's one thing that I was a little bit concerned about. It's okay, but I think it's just like the water. Products in the bathroom, fine. So I didn't bring any shampoo or conditioner or body wash, because again on the forum they'd said that I think it's Anne Semonin products, and they've been great. So that's really great to not have to pack something so heavy. And air conditioning's great. Mini bar, which I'll show you later, is really good. We've got coffee machine, kettle, yeah, everything you need really, and 24-hour room service. So anything that you don't need or have, you can get. So that's amazing. So I'll take you on our little stroll to Uzo, and I will show you what delights we have for dinner there.
So it is Monday? Yeah, it's Monday morning. Excuse a slightly tired look. We had a great night last night. We had dinner at Uzo, so that was our first restaurant experience here, and oh my gosh, it did not disappoint at all. So I think I mentioned it's like the furthest one along. It's right on the beach, right overlooking Castro Island, which was all lit up. The food was so lovely, the service was incredible. So we did our wine selection first, and then I just thought they'd do a glass of the wine, but then the wine went, so we both ordered a different white wine, and then the wine went into a bucket, and then that seemed to be our wine for the night, and then we thought we had to drink the whole bottle. We didn't drink the whole bottle, not far off, but food was delicious. So I had a courgette, like a crispy courgette starter, which I always try to have because years ago we went on a holiday to Crete with my nephew Jack, and we had anything that was courgette, crispy, deep fried, we ate in these restaurants and we absolutely loved it. And so as soon as I saw that on the menu, I felt like I had to have that. That was delicious. David had calamari, and then I had a really delicious cod dish for my mains, and David had meatballs with these really lovely potato wedges, and then I had the most delicious warm cookie and ice cream, vanilla ice cream, and David had something with like semolina. It looked a bit like baklava, but it wasn't, and he had some of my cookie as well. So we had a really lovely experience. We then went over to the Lagoon bar, and there was a lady singing jazz with a saxophonist, which was really lovely. We had a couple of glasses of red wine there before we came home, and we slept really well. So main point of today is we are up fairly early and we are doing what we love to do, one of the things we love to do most together, which is going for a run. So there is an area out that way where the marina is. So we've heard that if we exit via the area where the water sports is, which is right at the edge of the complex, we can then run along a road, promenade, somebody's described it as, all the way into the marina, the port, and then back again, and it should be about 4 or 5 miles. So we're up, we haven't had any breakfast, no coffee or anything yet, we've just got our running gear on and had a bit of water, and now we're going to go and sort of, the sun has risen, but we're going to see the early morning sunshine of IKOS on a run. So we are just back from a bit of a boozy lunch at Fresco, which was delicious. We had rosé wine, bottle of rosé, we had caprese salad, David had potatoes, and then sea bass, and I had a pizza, and then cannoli and sorbet. So we've had a really nice lunch, but we thought that wasn't over really. The sun's still shining and we're still in the mood. So we've just ordered another glass of rosé, and David wanted to start working his way through the cocktail menu. So the waitress came over and he just said, right, I've not had a cocktail here before, so I would just like to try a cocktail. And she has delivered 2 cocktails, so he's got a choice. One is rum based and one I think is tequila based. So looks like there's pineapple in one, and I'm not too sure what's on top of the other, but just to like show how good the service is, like she wanted to bring him 2 different choices, and so he can now enjoy 2 cocktails and see what he thinks. Do you want to do a taste test? Okay, this is the one with rum. She did say at the end, enjoy, and she will see you later. Oh, it's spicy.
Really spicy.
A bit spicy.
Nice.
And then this is the tequila one, I think.
They're both nice. It's good.
Nice. So, just to show what the amazing service is like here, like you just ask for anything and they just accommodate.
So we are now officially halfway through our holiday. We are having the best time. Today we had a bit of a pool day. So we went by the beach pool, which we have done each time we've been by the pool. And the service is amazing. Like, they just come round and they're always topping up your bottles of water and recommending drinks, and they don't really take no for an answer, because on the first day I was like, oh no, I'll just drink water, and then she's like, no, you won't, you'll have something different, and so they lead you astray. Last night we went to Aria, which was stunning, and I'm so glad that we've got another booking there, because Asian food, totally my favourite, and it was absolutely spot on. Tonight, oh, and then it was also the white party, which was okay. We sort of headed our way down to the beach and had one of the drinks, but I think if you're in a group of people, like, it might be fun. But we decided to have balcony night. We ordered a bottle of Malbec to the room, and we played cards on the balcony and listened to Oasis in the hope that we would manifest getting tickets. Good evening. So tonight we are at Seasons, which is the one restaurant that we're not allowed to go to for lunch or breakfast, but we are allowed to come to for dinner. So we're off there. I was adamant for this holiday I needed to have a red dress, and so I've literally tried on every red dress that they sold in or outside the UK, and I found a Shein dress which was about £8.74, and the waitress has already commented that I look really nice in it. So Shein. Dave is also in Shein, and we're going to the deluxe area of the resort dressed in Shein. That's how we roll.
Do you prefer the cheese?
So today is Tesla day. We have used our ability to rent one of the Teslas, and so they have given us our IKOS pack-up lunch. We've got a bag of towels to take with us. It's so thoughtful. We just had to order that yesterday, and now we have got the keys to the Tesla, and we're just walking up to where it's parked to take it out for the day. We are going to do a trip to IKOS town. We're then going to go on to Zia, which is in the mountains, and then we are going to come back via the Planka forest, which is a forest that's got lots of peacocks and cats. So I'll take you along with us. We're looking forward to getting out. We're halfway through our break now, so it feels like it's nice to get out and do some exploring. And David's excited because we've got the new Model 3. So obviously he's driven a Model 3 and a Model Y. So the lady said because he was used to driving a Tesla, that she would give us the newest Model 3, which has cooling seats, which sounds cool. So just randomly as you walk around, there's this little like village for insects. It's like little bug hotels. We talk about how that all works. It's just so clever. I've seen lots of parents with their children just walking around this area, telling us about the insects that are native to the island. But also throughout the resort, where they're growing specific plants or herbs or flowers, they have little plaques that tell you about what those are and why they're grown and what they use them for. So the other day we got a text via the concierge WhatsApp group saying that we had been selected for an upgrade to a panoramic junior suite sea view, and we've got this from Saturday until Tuesday. So we are now room 1314. This is insane. And we are now in a very large, oh, mind the flashing lights there, panoramic sea view room, which we can't believe. So we're on the very top floor. Room is very similar, definitely larger. It does sleep 4 people. So we've got lots and lots of storage here and the safe. And they made the move really easy. So we just packed up all of our personal belongings. We left everything on that we wanted on hangers, which actually has done us a massive favour because we are 3 days out from leaving. So we've now been able to pack things away that we don't want. We've got a chair, nice big telly set into the wall, and we've got a sofa here, which would be a sofa bed that would sleep 2 people. So this room's actually big enough for 4. We've got a nice vanity unit there. And then we've also got what we had in our last room with our coffee machine, kettle, etc. And our mini bar, which is full of the same bits and pieces. And then we've actually got double wardrobes. So we've got more shelving next to the mini bar in there. And then we've got another wardrobe in there, which is amazing. So I guess if you're here with kids, you could have like a kid's wardrobe and an adult's wardrobe. The bathroom is amazing. So from here we go into double sink like we had before, his and hers. We've got the drawers underneath and plenty of towels. Nice mirrors, the decor's nice. And then we have a bath, which we didn't have before, which is really lovely. And then we have a shower behind one door, which is very similar size to the shower we had. And also we have the toilet, which is behind the other door. But the bit that completely sells this is going to be the view. So we're on the top floor, which is the 3rd floor, so we are 1314. And if I pull these blinds away, we have the most insane panoramic sea view. So when we made our original booking, we actually paid a little bit more to have a sea view because we were a little bit worried that some of the reviews had said that if you didn't book the sea view, you overlooked like internal areas and bin stores and bits and pieces. So we did pay an extra couple of £100 to have a sea view, which was incredible, but this is literally insane. So we've got a much larger balcony than we had before, and we do literally have a panoramic sea view. So we were all on the edge of this building and we are now on the very front of the building. So we can overlook the main pool that's here and the splash pool, which is just beyond. We can see IKOS restaurant, which is just back there. We can see over onto the beach pool, which we've spent a bit of time there. Actually, I'm just getting my bearings, which is slightly strange. You can see all of the beach areas that you can sit on, and then down below us is the buffet restaurant, and Provence, the French restaurant, is just below us as well. So you can see the boats out into the distance. So this is just beautiful. The balcony itself is absolutely huge. So we've got much more seating area, and we've got a table with 4 chairs this time because the room is for 4 people. So yeah, we are super happy with our little upgrade for the weekend. I think we're going to enjoy spending some time in the room.
So it is Sunday morning and we've had our first night in our new room. The view, as you can see, is just amazing. And so in the afternoon we ordered a bottle of the private cellar rosé to the room. We just enjoyed looking out over the sea, watching the people swim and the boats and jet skis. And then we also opened another bottle as well that was in our mini fridge too. And just, yeah, listened to music and enjoyed the afternoon. Went for dinner last night at IKOS, that was really nice. And then we came back, ordered a bottle of red wine, and we sat and just watched the moon over the sea. I'll pop some photos in, it's absolutely gorgeous. Woke up this morning and saw the sun rising just to the left of the balcony. We ordered our coffees, as we've become accustomed to doing, and now we're going to go and do some sort of physical work, which leads me on to the physical activities that you can do here. So there is a wide range of things. We've taken advantage of just getting out and running, and so we made our way to the edge of the water sports centre, which is right at the edge, the far right edge of the complex, and then we ran into the sort of town, really, like the marina area. And the other day we made that up to, I think we could have made it up to about 5 miles, but it has been really warm running here, and not the most enjoyable. The Sunni's lovely and you can run along the coast, and it's a mixture of sort of paths and road, which is really easy to run on, but it is flipping hot. But we've also taken advantage of the gym. So David's used the gym 2 or 3 times. He's found that really good. Super busy first thing in the morning, obviously it would be, but then we have walked past in the afternoon and it's been absolutely dead. So you might want to pick your times accordingly. And I'm about to go off to do my 3rd Pilates class, which has just been amazing. Obviously it's one of my most favourite things to do. It's been great to do it with a different instructor, and I think her name's Athena. She is phenomenal. So we did our first class with mini balls, which was really tough. And then the second class was no equipment, and that was really great. So I'm going to go and do my 3rd and final class with her this morning. But there's loads of water sports and bits. We thought that we might do the kayaks or the pedalos out to the island, but once we realised that we could swim out to that island, we much preferred doing that. So that's what we've done. We've done lots of swimming in the pools, but also there's tennis, there's bikes that you can hire. There's all sorts of other fitness classes. They do an 8 o'clock like sun salutation or yoga class, stretching on the beach every morning. You can have a personal trainer. There's like endless things to keep you active. So we feel like we've had a semi-active holiday, definitely still getting some steps in and getting some gym and classes in. But yeah, the choice is endless, which is really good if you like to have that on holiday, as well as eating 3 massive meals and drinking plenty of cocktails and wine in the day. So I really hope you enjoyed some of those memories of our holiday. So as I said, we booked an IKOS Aria holiday. We booked it through TUI and we booked it about 14 months before we were due to go. It's our 20th wedding anniversary. We wanted to do something really special, so we booked 10 nights. We flew from Gatwick. We stayed at the Premier Inn at Gatwick the night before, and we also booked separate private transfers from the airport in IKOS to and from through Z Tours. Highly recommend them. We paid them cash. They collected us with a little plaque as we arrived, and like you saw, we had that full minibus to ourselves, which was amazing. We arrived super quick before the bus, so we were able to chill and be there way before the bus with a cocktail in our hands. So our room, when we were looking at booking this holiday, we weren't too sure about the difference between going deluxe and not deluxe. I'll explain in the next question and answer in a moment. We decided to go non-deluxe from what we'd sort of heard and thought that that suited us fine. So we booked to begin with a superior triple. And then after having a look at some reviews about possible noise and where that room might be located over, like some bins or something, we decided to pay an extra couple of £100 and we upgraded to a sea view triple, so superior triple sea view room. This room was fantastic, more than enough space as you saw in the video, and yeah, had everything you needed. The only thing I'd say about where ours was located was that the sun sort of set, so in the afternoon it was right onto our balcony, so when we wanted to go back to the room and have a bottle of wine and sit on the balcony, it was quite hot, so we often had to find ourselves in the room. Really, first world problem, wasn't a massive issue at all, but just be mindful of that. But it had everything that you needed, and as you saw in the video, we did get amazingly upgraded. So partway through our holiday, one of the days we were out and about in the Tesla, we got a WhatsApp from our concierge saying that they'd managed to secure us an upgrade. We hadn't asked for this. The hotel didn't know that it was our wedding anniversary. No big deal had been made of anything. I had seen on some forums that this had happened to people before. And I think it was clever on their behalf. I think that we'd booked a 10-night trip and most people that we spoke to were either there for a week or 2 weeks. So I feel like those extra 3 days that we were there meant that perhaps they didn't have a crossover of rooms and so they were able to upgrade us. The room that they upgraded us to was a panoramic suite of it was a panoramic sea view room. It was incredible. It was right on the end of the building, and you literally had panoramic sea view. It was absolutely incredible. And if we were to return, we would definitely consider this room again. Much more spacious, huge balcony to enjoy your afternoon bottle of wine, which we did plenty of times. But also what was great is the sun rose on one side and set on the other. So you never had the direct sun like we had in the previous room. And also we could get up really early and watch the sunrise, and we could also then see the sunset. So absolutely beautiful, and good work of the marketing team, because definitely that would be a room that we would love to enjoy again. Okay, so next point is food. First of all, plenty of it. There are 8 restaurants in total. First one we've got is Flavours. This is open for buffet breakfast, buffet lunch and buffet dinner. Really lovely selection at all of those meal times. We ate there on the first night because we knew we were getting there late and we didn't really know how the restaurant bookings and etc. worked, but it was great. Seems like each evening there's a slight theme, and in the mornings you do get a little like information booklet on each of the tables to tell you what's happening the following day. And so it did seem that there was a little bit of a food theme in Flavours. However, we only ate dinner there one evening, so I don't know what sort of themes they had on. Food was really lovely, plentiful, cooked fresh, the chefs were all doing their thing, and everything was topped up. Same for breakfast, same for lunch. We ate breakfast in there a few times and we did lunch as well. You then have 7 a la carte restaurants, and those are all open for evening for everybody. So you've got Ouzo, which is your traditional Greek, you've got Provence, which is French, Oliver, which is Spanish, Fresco, Italian. You've got your IKOS, which is your traditional KOS Greek food. You've got Aria, which is your Asian fusion, and you've got Seasons, which is Mediterranean and sits in the deluxe area of the hotel. I'll come over onto deluxe in the next part. So all of those are open for dinner. You do need to pre-book those. We found that relatively easy because we weren't particularly fussy about what time we ate. If you're going with young children and you want to make sure that you're eating earlier, then you might want to make sure you contact the hotel beforehand to request sitting earlier. But actually, when we arrived and we were booking some of the reservations, it was easy to get seating, so that was great. And then at lunchtime, you have got a couple of extra places that you can go. So you've got Ouzo, the Greek restaurant, which is on the beach, which does a buffet barbecue, which is stunning. So in one of the rooms, you've got all of your hot food, salads, fruit, desserts, etc. And then over in the corner, you've got this massive barbecue that the chefs are at, and everything is cooked fresh for you. So although it's a buffet, it's very different to flavours that you can go to for lunch, which is your traditional buffet. You've then got fresco as well, the Italian, where you can go for lunch. We loved this. So we quite like a boozy lunch where we just sit and eat and enjoy a bottle of wine. And this was perfect at fresco for lunchtime. And so although we did fresco in the evenings, I actually more enjoyed it at lunchtime. And they had the same menu, so you could enjoy starter, main course, dessert. When you are ordering at the restaurants, you can order whatever you like. You will find on the menus that next to each of the dishes there is an amount in euros. Now this was really confusing when we'd first booked the hotel and were looking on the IKOS app, and we thought, well, is it all inclusive? Why are these prices next to all the food and drink? Apparently it's some sort of Greek law that they've got to put the price next to it, but absolutely everything is included. And yeah, like often we would order a couple of starters, more than just the ones that we'd order like a third main course to share, and often some extra desserts as well. So not an eye is blinked at that at all. We really enjoyed doing that, especially at Aria, where it was all the Asian fusion. So we got some bits of like crispy squid and spring rolls and bits and pieces. So definitely don't worry about ordering more than just your starter and your main course and your dessert each. One thing to be aware of is Seasons, which is the Mediterranean restaurant, which is situated in the deluxe area of the resort, is open for dinner for everybody, but is only available for lunch and breakfast for the deluxe guests, which I'll come on to. Your other places that you can go to for an a la carte breakfast, they do that at Fresco, they do that at IKOS, and they also do that at Ouzo, as well as your traditional buffet at Flavors. So much choice. Another one of the main reasons that we came to this hotel is that we really enjoy trying different wines. And although we've been to lovely all-inclusive holidays, there's often your one white, one rosé, one red. And while sometimes those can be really nice, we really enjoy at home, like trying weird and wonderful different wines. And so what really stood out to us about IKOS was that they have a cellar of like 300 wines. And so we loved the idea of being able to try those, perhaps bring some ideas back home for things that we could continue to drink when we're here. So that was a big selling point to us. And actually, it's such a big point that when I'm thinking of traveling anywhere else, the one thing that changes my mind and makes me want to go back to IKOS, well, not the one thing, but one of the things, is that choice of wine was just incredible. The staff are also really knowledgeable. So when we first arrived, we didn't really know like how it worked, because there was just all these wines and you just think, well, can we just really order anything? So often I'd just say like a couple of full body glasses of red wine, and they just brought one out. A crisp rosé wine, they just would bring one out. So we started to learn which ones we liked. Big favourite of ours was the IKOS Private Cellar Rosé. If you like a Whispering Angel, this is just divine, particularly on your balcony, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, watching everybody outside do their thing, enjoying your rosé for sure. There was also a really nice red Malbec, I think it's in the video that we had at the Spanish restaurant, and then we carried that on through as well. What I will say regarding drinks is that if you order a glass of wine, because there's so many bottles, and it makes sense now, but we didn't realise at the first instance, they actually bring the whole bottle to you. So once you have a glass of that white wine, that bottle is yours for the evening. You don't have to finish it. I think I heard that it's taken to the restaurant, that anything that you don't finish, and it's used within cooking, so it shouldn't be wasted. But we're a little bit surprised, because on the first night when we went to Ouzo, we decided to both try a different white wine, and we just thought we'd each have a glass, but then those 2 bottles of white were put next to our table in an ice bucket. So that was a little bit of a shock. But in hindsight now, or realising, obviously with that many wines, they can't just pour everything by the glass. On another night, we'd gone to the Spanish restaurant, and I just fancied a glass of like pink Prosecco to begin with, and again the whole bottle was brought out. I made it really clear, because I was worried to the waitress that I wasn't going to have all of that, I just wanted a glass, and she said that that was fine. So I think they're often taken up to the bar or into the kitchen to be used in cooking, but that is something to be aware of, so you don't feel the pressure of seeing that bottle in that bucket and thinking you've got to drink it all, unless you want to drink it all. Cocktails were fantastic. Sometimes we just asked for something that wasn't on the menu. And they just came up with a concoction which was amazing. And again, everything's included. So you will see prices next to all of the drinks, but that is just this Greek law. Everything is included. Okay, so difference between deluxe and non-deluxe. So when we were first looking into this holiday, we weren't too sure how it worked. However, it seemed like to us that the deluxe had a different pool they could use. There was an extra restaurant that could be used for breakfast and lunch. And I think you got some massages and some like beach bags and hats, and there was sort of an exclusive area on the beach that you could use. Now, because we were travelling as 2 adults without any children, we were mainly going to use the adult pool anyway, because that was a luxury after having a child for a long time. And so actually when we thought about it, we were happy to go non-deluxe and not worry about having the extra pool, etc. So when we arrived, we familiarised ourselves with the resort straight away, and we found the areas that we were and weren't allowed to go to. So at Aria, the main difference is you have one restaurant called Seasons, which is in the deluxe area of the resort. As a non-deluxe guest, you can't use this restaurant for breakfast or for lunch, but you can go for dinner. We had 2 dinners here. It was really beautiful. And it's right by the adult-only pool, so we could still use that pool. But we just weren't allowed to use the restaurant for breakfast or lunch. There's also a deluxe bar there, which I think has slightly different drinks available. I think you can get tatted de champagne, although I have heard of non-deluxe guests asking for it and getting it. We didn't ask for it. I wasn't that fussed. But I think there's some different drinks that you can have in that deluxe bar. There is also a deluxe pool. It's quite large. It's sort of in the centre of the resort, and that is for the deluxe guests only. Again, that didn't bother us because we were happy to be by the main pool, the beach pool, or mainly the adult only pool because we wanted that peace and quiet away from children. The deluxe pool looked lovely, but for us, it didn't matter. You do get 2 massages. You do get beach hats, beach bags, and I think you get like an upgraded room service menu and also an upgraded minibar. For us, we were more than happy not to go deluxe. If we went again, we might try deluxe, but I didn't feel like it offered us anything that we needed or that we missed. So they are your main differences. And if you are worried about travelling to Aria, being non-deluxe, absolutely don't worry at all. There's plenty of space around all of the pools if you're with children or without. All of the restaurants, so plentiful, you wouldn't feel that you're missing out by not going to Seasons, but you can go in the evening anyway to experience it. And yeah, we were really happy with our choice. Didn't feel like we missed out on anything. Minibar and room service. So this room service was a game changer. I literally loved it. So every morning we liked to have like a lazy morning before we got up and had breakfast. And so I used to call down on the room service on the phone and order coffees and lattes up to the room. This was fantastic. They were there in seconds. It felt really strange doing it because I thought, how does this work? But they were just really happy to take your order and fulfill it. Obviously, that's what the service is there for. In the afternoon, we enjoyed ordering a bottle of wine just for like an afternoon drink while we were out at the sun for a little while. Private cellar rosé. And yeah, that was brilliant. So we often did that. And we also sometimes after dinner would come up to the room and order a bottle of wine to come up with us. We never ordered food on room service, but it all looked really nice. And it was very similar to things that you could get out by the pool if you had lunch by the pool, which we did a couple of times as well. So I would definitely do that in future, particularly if you're arriving late. There's a late night menu. So if you're arriving after the buffets and the restaurants are closed, then you could easily order a lovely meal to have in your room in the evening. So super easy to order, really vast menu. Like I said in my last point, I think there's an upgraded menu for the deluxe area, but everything was fine for us. In your room, you've also got a mini bar. This is refreshed with your spirits and your mixers. There's also usually a bottle of wine in there that they learn which one you like. And there's also tea and coffee, like a coffee machine and tea making facilities, and also the coffee pod, so you can make your own drinks. They also replenish your bottled water, which is glass bottled water as well, daily. And you can just request any of those things to be brought to the room as well. So really good in-room service, and then room service brought in as well. Definitely recommend. And again, all included. Activities are aplenty. So as you exit the hotel onto the beach, if you turn to the right and walk all the way to the end, there is a water sports centre, and there are pedalos and canoes and bits and pieces that you can hire, and I think anybody from the hotel gets 30 minutes per day. Now, we didn't actually use any of these. We were planning on doing that to get across to Castry Island, but in the end we found that we really enjoyed a little bit of scared swimming across to Castry Island. So we enjoyed swimming in the sea. So we didn't actually use any of the water sports activities, but they are all there and they are all free for IKOS customers to use for 30 minutes per day. The beach is really lovely. Loads of places to sit. We had a cabana each time we were there. We sort of set ourselves up in the adult only area. Same service as by the pool. So all your drinks and food can get brought over to you by the pool, and that service was top notch, as it was by all of the pools as well. Those waiters and waitresses are incredible, so friendly as well. The beach is lovely, nice and sandy, and then down into the sea. You can easily swim across to Castry Island. I would definitely recommend getting some beach shoes, just because it's a little bit rocky as you first go into the sea, just to protect your feet. And also as you get up onto Castry Island, you can then walk around without using your bare feet. You can't touch the floor all the way across to Castry Island. You can touch the floor for the majority. Then there's a bit of swimming before you get across to the other side. So do be mindful of that. But the sea was nice and warm. It wasn't overly rough. And we really enjoyed that aspect, which is not something we usually do, sea swimming. So we really enjoyed that. Other activities, there's loads. There's a fully equipped gym, which David used on a few occasions and enjoyed. There's yoga classes, Pilates classes, which I really enjoyed. There's classes on the beach, sun salutation. There's classes for children. There's also a kids club. Obviously, we didn't have any experience of that, but I've heard that it's really good. There's tennis courts, there's bikes that you can use. Again, all included in the price. I think there's sort of scuba diving and things that you can do for an additional price. All of that's on the website that you can check out. But even just a walk along into the marina, into the town, that was really nice. A few little supermarkets that you came across. We did a couple of runs into that area. And yeah, so if you are activity, holiday fueled people, then there's plenty to do at IKOS. It was fantastic. Another activity is that you get the hire of a Tesla for the day. So each room gets a hire of a Tesla for a day, option to do that. We did that on the Thursday because I had heard that a lot of things are closed on a Tuesday, like it's a special day on IKOS. So we went on the Thursday. We did a trip to IKOS town first. We parked up for free, had a little wander around the town, went to one of the cafes for a drink, really good souvenir shopping, just nice place, nice marina, beautiful yachts and boats to look at the rich and wealthy. We then from there drove to Zia, which is a mountainous area where we climbed up to a viewpoint which was really stunning. And from there we drove to the Planka Forest, which is a forest full of peacocks, and there were hundreds of peacocks, white peacocks, blue peacocks, and there's this guy that sits with a rickety old chair and table with some bread. You give him a couple of euros, he gives you a handful of bread, and you can feed the peacocks. So that was really nice. And it was also really odd to be in like a tall tree forest, a bit like we have here in the UK, in IKOS, and actually really nice to go at the height of the day when the sun is at its hottest because it was quite shady. So we really enjoyed that. We were back to the hotel by about 3 o'clock and then we could still enjoy the rest of the day by the pool. The hotel will do you a packed lunch to take with you if you're going out for the day. You just let them know the day before. They give you a menu that you choose from and then they pack all that up for you. They also give you towels if you're planning to go to another beach, or I think there's a water park nearby. So they pack you all up with everything that you might need for the day. So I definitely recommend doing that. There are some hairpin roads, that's for sure. And this is the first time we driven on the opposite side of the road. So that made for interesting morning out, but it was really good to get out and about, especially because we were there for 10 days and do a little bit of exploring. So lots of people talk about tipping and whether at a resort like this you do tip or you don't tip or how you tip. we decided that we would take just a few euros with us, and reception were happy to change the notes down into coins, and we would just take out euros each time we were out for dinner or going for a drink at the bar. We'd have some by the pool, and we just tipped sort of randomly throughout our stay. So a couple of euros here and there, or if somebody had looked after us at the pool all day, we might have given them 5 or 10. We just wanted to show our appreciation as we went along for the service that we'd had, just in case we didn't see somebody at the end of our stay to say thank you. It's really appreciated. It's definitely not expected. I've heard of people waiting until the end of their stay and then tipping the people that they'd had contact with, who they wanted to, but that's how we worked it, and it was definitely appreciated, and we just did it here and there. So there is a dress code for the restaurant for each of the meal servings. So just be aware that at lunchtime they do not allow any beachwear, so you have to wear a little bit more than just a cover up. I got a little bit stuck with that when I was sort of wearing a cover up on the bottom half and had my bikini top on, and that wasn't acceptable, but we couldn't really see in the rules, so that was a little bit of confusion. In the evenings you will find a vast array of what people are wearing. I think it states about men wearing long trousers, but absolutely smart shorts were fine. Nobody was pulled up on that at all. And I saw ladies that were really dressed up, and I saw some that were far more casual, so really anything goes. I was a little bit concerned that I was going to see everybody was really glamorous, so I felt like I needed a different dress every evening, and you know, if I was a bit casual, that wasn't going to go down well, but actually you just saw everything. So I felt really comfortable, and I enjoyed getting dressed up, but also being a bit more casual, and short-sleeved shirts and smart shorts for the men are absolutely fine. So I'd say one of the things that sets this hotel massively apart from anywhere I've experienced before is the service. Every single person you came into contact with was impeccable. Nothing was enough. Everything, you know, the no was just not an answer to anything. It was amazing. They all seemed really pleased to work there. They often commented how lucky they were to work in the resort. I hope that that was true. And they, got to know you, so friendly, absolutely impeccable. Everybody said hello to you every time you walked past them. Nothing was too much for them. So that definitely set it aside from even really great service that we've had before. We really couldn't fault this service at all. Everybody was fantastic. And like, yes was just the answer to everything, and it seems that that's the case all the time. So definitely service was absolutely top notch. So last question really remains, would we come here again? 100%. This place was 10 out of 10. It really met our needs for the type of holiday that we were looking at. And I really must say that once you've experienced IKOS, it's really hard to think of going anywhere else. And I had seen that in the forums when people said, right, we're the first time IKOS people, like, what do I need to know? And so many people would comment, start saving because you're never going to go anywhere else again. And I kept saying to David, I don't think we're going to be able to go anywhere else again. Like, that's before we even arrived. And then once we'd arrived, we thought, yeah, that might be the case. So absolute luxury. If you've got a special occasion, something that you want to celebrate, or just a really lovely, all-inclusive, meets all the needs holiday, then this is the one for you. It might ruin any other holiday you ever go on, but it really was worth it. Obviously, we spent more than we normally do on a holiday on this, and so leading up to it, we were really hoping that it was going to be everything that we wanted it to be. And I can safely say that it was. So when we left, we weren't disappointed that we were leaving, because we were just so pleased that it had created the memories that we wanted it to. So if you are in doubt, 100% book it. We'd really like to try some of the others or the other resorts, but we really loved Aria so much that then we worry, like, would it be as nice? So I think at some point we might try other ones, but we absolutely loved Aria. Having our room upgraded was massive icing on the cake. And yeah, it was just a terrific experience. So I would 100% recommend it. I hope that this vlog and review has been helpful. Please pop any questions that I haven't answered in the comments below, and I will get back to you about the answers to those. But from our experience, we absolutely loved it. And yeah, we can't wait to go back again. So thank you for watching this holiday review, vlog, memory bank, whatever you want to call it. I hope that it's been useful and I will see you in the next video.